Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We are broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com studio, and every day the broadcast is brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji Water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the QR code or the link that are posted on YouTube and Facebook, we thank all of you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. And before I do that, I want to remind everyone that we are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live, and we are RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. If you go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear. Click on the New Life link. Every broadcast will be available to you. And while you're there, stay connected with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by clicking on the WKAP link, which will take you to our internet, 24-hour internet radio station, WKAP Faith Empowerment Radio. You can reach us also at WKAPfaith.com, which is our website. But we want you to stay connected. We want you to be with us, and we want to be with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by playing music that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. So I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers also, coming up, you will be invited, and as a matter of fact, I'll invite you today. You'll be invited to come and celebrate with us for family and friends at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware. We celebrate family and friends on September the 11th at 10 a.m. service begins. We will have a guest with us for praise and worship, which will be the Choir School of Delaware. We invite you to come and worship with us. We invite you to come and experience a better quality of life. And immediately following service, we will have a barbecue that we have every year, our annual barbecue. We invite everyone to invite everyone. And we will have with us also for the children who enjoy gaming and for adults who enjoy gaming, we will have the Tri-State Gaming Limousine out with us, which has seating for, 24 people, and they also have a screen on outside of the gaming limousine. But it's going to be a great time. We're going to be doing some great things on that day just to celebrate together. So we invite you to come. We invite you to come and worship. We invite you to come and experience a better quality of life. New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you feel as though life has gotten out of balance for you. However, you are not certain how that happened or how to restore the balance. So I'm going to begin by addressing this to say that first and foremost, what you're going to need is some rest. You're gonna need to rest in the Lord. You know, it's so often we are working diligently, trying to accomplish everything that God has assigned for our lives. And sometimes we do get out of balance. One of the things that people struggle with is trying to have work-life balance. There's never going to be a balance there. And the reason is because you're going to put more hours in working than you are going to have leisure time. Having said that, we do want to try and get 8 hours of sleep every night. That's one thing that I recommend to everyone. And then in addition to that, sometimes you just have to rest in the Lord. And what that means is you just have to read your Bible, meditate, pray. Whatever you do that's going to allow you to rest in the Lord. And it may be as simple as resting while you're working. Now, I know that might sound difficult to many people, but there is a way to rest your body while you're working. You know, we all are online constantly working, and you know, just because your mind is working, at least your body can be at rest. So sometimes we have to rest our bodies while our mind is still working. You know, that is going to be important so that we get the rest needed to really be in balance. And in addition to that, we have to make certain that we're doing whatever's necessary to get the appropriate amount of rest that we need every night. So, you know, I will share with you personally that I just had this conversation recently with my wife, and I made a comment that, you know, as much as, you know, I've been busy with all of the other entities that we work during the summer months, you know, I go by different schools every day of the week, Monday through Friday, once school begins for, you know, middle school and high schools. And one of the comments I made is that, you know, I'm going to find it necessary to start going to bed earlier. I am most days getting my 8 hours of sleep, although, you know, some days that just doesn't work because you're working on projects and there's different time zones and they're different, you know, both domestic and international time zones. And so it doesn't always allow you or afford you the opportunity to get exactly 8 hours of sleep, but I do the best I can. And the reason I brought this up is because sometimes we have to make some adjustments. So I know that because now I'm going to be very shortly going to be getting up and having to go to the schools at early in the morning, I know that I've got to go to bed earlier at night if I'm going to get my 8 hours of sleep. So instead of trying to shut things down at one time, I'm going to have to make it an earlier time so that I can try to keep the balance, keep my body in rhythm, basically is where I'm going. You'll want to do the same thing. Find a rhythm for your body and try to stay in that rhythm. Do the best we can to stay in that rhythm. And one of the ways is, of course, rest. Another way is our meal planning. You know, so first Thursday of every month we have with us Rebecca Boover, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, scheduling permitted. BeccaTheDietitian.com is with us the first Thursday of every month. Now, having said that, she shares with us what we can do from a dietary and nutritional perspective for us to keep our bodies in rhythm also. So you want to make sure that you're planning meals so that you know you're not overeating, you know that you are eating the right things, you know that you're really doing the best that you can possibly do to keep your body in rhythm. So rest, meals, and then exercise. So for me, one of the things that I struggled with is the winter. If we don't snowbird much in the winter, then And during COVID, none of that was possible. But if we don't snowbird, then at points during the week, then my exercise routine was limited because I don't run during the winter. I don't do treadmills, so I don't run during the winter at all. And I had been doing that. And then I wasn't going to the gym, so during the winter, so I would work out at home. There are days I'll go, but I'm talking about my normal routine. But what I realized is I can exercise at home more than I was exercising. So I was doing, when I was in that practice, I was only doing 100 push-ups in the morning, 100 push-ups in the evening, some squats, and then I'd wait until it got warmer to start running again, and then going back to the gym regularly. I would go here and there during the winter, but not on a consistent basis like I go now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then, I play during the winter or during the summer and spring and fall. If I can play golf and my schedule permits, I play golf Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoons. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays I run. In other words, I'm giving you my routine to say you've got to get a routine for exercise. And when the pandemic came, because we couldn't do those things, I had to change up my routine. So I just started working out at home every day and increasing my workout. I use the dumbbells. We have a total gym. I'm doing more push-ups. I'm doing more leg exercises. I'm doing everything I can to try to stay, not only to stay healthy, but also to keep my body in a rhythm. So those are three important entities to keeping our body in a rhythm. And when we keep our body in a rhythm, we also find that our mind gets in a rhythm of its own. Our mind starts to know every component that we need to perform at a high level. So those are the things you can do to restore balance to your life, and that is by getting your body back in rhythm. So you just said you feel like you don't know how this has happened. Well, life happens to us all. So you want to just make certain that you get your body back in a rhythm, get your mind in a rhythm, get your spirit in a rhythm, so that you can restore the balance to your life that you desire and so richly deserve. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill. And if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you feel as though everything in your personal life and your professional life is a battle. And you want to know, what can you do to eliminate the battles? So here's a real simple answer to this. Stop fighting. No one can fight with you if you refuse to fight. So the reason everything feels like a battle to you is because every time someone brings a battle to you, you feel that it's necessary for you to fight. Some battles are not yours. Some battles belong to the Lord. So you've got to recognize the importance of just allowing God to fight your battles. So I'm going to walk you through this a little bit because I can see in that secret place of your life what's happening. And that is that someone brings an issue to you. Someone tries to interfere with what you're doing professionally. At home, you feel like you're constantly being attacked. And your natural response is either fight or flight. In your case, it's fight. Sometimes it's not fight or flight. Sometimes it's just staying firm. Just staying. Hear what people are saying, and everything that's said to you does not require a response. Sometimes you only need to allow it to be said, and then you can move on. Sometimes it's better to be silent and thoughtful than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Sometimes it's just best to not say anything at all. Sometimes we have to turn the other cheek, and what that means is that doesn't mean stand there and let someone strike you on the other cheek when they've already tried to, in theory, strike one side of your cheek. That means you might have to turn and walk away from them. You might have to stay away from them. If people are bringing you drama, you don't have to participate. That's part of the battle you're fighting. Is that every time someone brings you drama, you feel the necessity to participate in the drama. You don't have to participate in everything. You want to make certain that you pick and choose your battles. It's real important to do that. It's real important to pick and choose the battles we're going to fight. And unless it's going to enhance the quality of your life, or unless it's going to afford you the opportunity to build wealth at a higher level, or unless it's going to prevent you from allowing others to disrupt the quality of your life, you don't need to fight that battle. And even then, sometimes you've just got to allow God to fight the battle. See, we've been fighting for so long for the things that are important to us that we have gotten to the point where we think every fight, every battle is our fight. And it's not always our fight. So I want to encourage you today, pick and choose the battles that you need to fight. Everything is not your battle. And I know you've got a lot going on personally and professionally. There's been challenges that you've had to deal with. But we all have challenges. We are equipped to overcome challenges. We all have obstacles. Obstacles are opportunities. Listen, if an obstacle is placed before you, it is placed there to keep you from getting the next opportunity. Our job is to overcome the obstacles. That's what we do. And that's how we win. That's how we have the victory. We don't have to dwell in our battle. Sometimes people will fight every battle because they feel that they haven't been heard enough. They haven't been heard over the course of their lifetime enough. They want to be heard. Sometimes it's not necessary to be heard. Sometimes it's necessary to be silent. There's a reason There's an old adage that says silence is gold. Silence will lead you to the gold. Silence will lead you to victory. Sometimes it's just important to be just that, to be silent. So I'm going to encourage you to recognize the importance of being silent. Pick and choose your battles and let God fight the battles that you don't need to fight. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. If you are in the market for a new vehicle, for one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will find a dealership in your area, wherever you are located. You will find a dealership where you will be able to view the inventory that they have in their floor plan, in stock. If they don't have what you desire, you can go on PorscheAmerica.com. You will be able to design and specify exactly what you need in a Porsche to take possession of one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured. And if you're in our area, go to PorscheDelaware.com, one of our sponsors for our annual Achievers Golf Tournament. Ask to speak to Mike Didio, General Manager of Porsche of Delaware. He will make certain that you are taken care of, that someone shows you what they have in inventory, help you with your purchase selection. And if you are currently the owner of a Porsche and just are in need of service, pardon me, my allergies bothering me today, contact Porsche Delaware. Ask to speak to Mike Adams, Service Manager of Porsche of Delaware. He will make certain that an appointment is scheduled for you. They will pick up your vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner car to you, and return your vehicle to you when your service has been completed. PorscheDelaware.com. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband says that you wake up in a bad mood every day. He says he gets tired of you complaining from the moment you awaken until you go to bed at night. And you're not certain why he thinks that you are always in a bad mood. You don't believe that you are constantly complaining. Let me break this down for you. Your husband, your spouse, has been living with you for many years. He has watched your mood every day. Now, you say he says every day. Let's just, for the sake of discussion, say that you don't wake up in a bad mood every day. It's every other day. The question you have to ask yourself is, why do you wake up in a bad mood? You know, it's really interesting. Pardon me. Is that if we wake up in the morning, God breathes the breath of life. If our eyes open in the morning, God breathes the breath of life into us. And we're able to rise up out of bed and stand up on our own 2 feet. What could possibly be the reason for waking up in a bad mood? Even if it's every other day, even if it's once a week. Now I know you might say, well, Pastor, that's not realistic. Everyone wakes up in a bad mood at some point in time. No, you don't have to. That is a choice. Even if you awaken and you don't feel like getting out of bed immediately, meditate. If you don't feel like starting to move around the first thing in the morning and you need some silence ask your husband if you can just have some quiet. There are ways to live this life that are better than the way we've been living it. And one of the things we don't want to do is ever wake up in a bad mood. And the reason is because we should be thankful that we woke up this morning. We're thankful that we wake up every day because we have new opportunities, new potential, because God's given us new mercy every day to do some great things. So there's never a reason to wake up in a bad mood. Now, think about this. Not only did God breathe the breath of life into you and you're able to stand on your own 2 feet, if you wake up in the morning and you're in your right mind, you should be thankful for that. There's a lot of people who struggle with undiagnosed mental illness. And life, everyday life is a struggle for them. You don't have that issue, which takes me to the next part of your communication, which is, and then once you realize how blessed you are to wake up in the morning and have a new day filled with new opportunities. Once you realize that, once you have that in your heart and mind, and once you realize that your mind is good, you have a great mind, a brilliant mind, what do you really have? What reason do you really have to be in a bad mood? And then go forth and complain all day long. What are we really complaining about? This always reminds me of the children of Israel, who everything that God did for them. Think about this. He took them out of Egypt, where they were being treated badly. And he began to take them on a journey to the promised land. He gave them a leader in Moses. So he didn't leave them out there by themselves. Moses then had Aaron and he had Joshua with him, and Hur and Caleb was there, and there were some good people around to lead them out of Egypt into the promised land, a land that flowed with milk and honey. A great place. And yet the entire journey, they started to complain. And then God let them wander in the wilderness for 40 years. Because all they did was murmur and complain. You have to ask yourself, do you want to struggle for 40 years because you murmur and complain? Because you're complaining about things that really are not that important. And part of the reason we complain is because we want to control everything. We complain because we want to control everything. When we really don't have a reason for complaining. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it that we feel so passionate about that we think there's a reason to complain? Because I guarantee you, I can make this statement because of the scripture. There really is not a reason for us to complain because God is in control of everything. God is in control of the good and the bad. We don't really have a reason to complain because he knows exactly what he's doing for us. He knows exactly what he's doing to us to develop us for what he has in store. He knows exactly what he's doing at all times. So you have to really determine what it is in your spirit that provokes you to complain all day, every day. Because it's really not worth it to complain. It's much better to have the joy of the Lord, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at